Today, I want to talk about the greatest lens I have ever used in my entire life. And that lens is the Sigma Art 14 to 24 f2.8. I think this is a lens that every single person has to have. This thing is absolutely incredible because it just makes sense to have it. I used to use Canon a lot, and I absolutely despise the fact that my wide angle lens was a 16mm to a 35mm, and then I had my next lens was a 24mm to a 70mm, then my last lens was a 70mm to a 200. I never understood why we didn't just have a wide angle lens to a mid-range lens to a long lens. It never made any sense to me. Luckily, Sigma and a lot of Sony's designs actually at this point do now have that, and it is the 14 to 24, a 24 to 70, and then 70 to 200. So you actually have the full lens set. 14, 24, 24 to 70, 70 to 200, and that's how it should be. I don't know why on earth it never was that to begin with. That extra 2mm, you might not think it gives you a lot, but it actually gives you a ton of real estate to work with. The other thing about this lens is I think that is one of the most tack sharp lenses I have ever used. I feel like I've never missed focus once with this lens. AF is amazing. Everything about it, like even if it's out of focus, like it's so sharp that like it still maintains it. Build quality on this, it's a Sigma Art lens. So yeah, it's a heavy sucker. I feel like all the Sigma lenses always do have a lot of weight to them, but they feel sturdy. They feel like, honestly, they feel like a big cinema lens. They're awesome. Quality of it is fantastic. All the gears turn really, really easily. And I mean, just look at that thing. It is just gorgeous. The only thing that I don't like about this lens is the fact that if you want to use ND filters, you actually have to go through the back. It's not that big of a deal for me, but I do a lot of videography over photography. And so I like to be able to use variable NDs just so for more run and gun situations, it's a little bit easier to maintain how much light's coming into your lens. But if it really bothered me that much, I could just get a matte box for the top of it. So it's not that big of a deal, but it is something that I don't love about the lens. But even though that's something that I don't love, it's not a deal breaker. I think most wide angle lenses actually have the NDs going in the back because of the size of the bulb on front, basically, the size of that glass element on the front. I mean, it's absolutely huge. It's enormous. You can see how big that front element of this lens is. So one big thing with this lens is it is a wide angle lens, and having it be 14mm, there's gonna be a good amount of distortion on it, but that's a very easy fix. It's a simple one-click button in Lightroom, and bam, you're back to a nice undistorted image if you would like. And plus, almost every single lens has a little bit of distortion that you're gonna have to correct after the fact. There is a little bit more vignetting on this than I would like, but it totally works for me. Again, you can correct it in post. Having this lens be a 14mm lets it dominate low light situations, especially when it comes to astrophotography. When shooting astrophotography, the wider your lens is, the more light you can bring in without making the stars trail. So for example, with a 14mm, you can have a 35-second exposure without the stars trailing, which then allows you to capture so much more of that beautiful Milky Way. This lens also will allow you to get super unique angles while shooting because of how close you can get to the subject. Pair that with some urban night photography, and you can create really, really cool light trails, really cool car trails, anything, and also gain really cool, unique perspectives of the world around you. And that's a Sigma 14mm to 24mm f2.8 lens. And leave a comment below to tell me what you like about this lens and what you don't like about this lens if you've shot with it before. And if you've made it this far into the video, why not like and subscribe? We do film and digital photography as well as a bunch of video production techniques, and you're gonna love it.